EX4 is finally here, and of course we gotta play the main boss of EX4. The main card in the cover, or on the box cover, is that Omnimon Alter S. So close, we're almost there, boys, where we can have a Joker's deck of War Greymon and Metal Garurumon and make an Omnimon, but this is as close as we're gonna get. Let's get into this deck profile. You already know what we're gonna use. So all this deck, honestly, it's all of the cards from EX4. So, of course, the baby is a Sunamon. Your turn, once per turn, when another Digimon would Digivolve, you would get one draw. So the whole gimmick here is that with one stack, it helps your other stack Digivolve and kind of vice versa. Think of like a ping pong, tennis, back and forth. You'll see what I'm talking about. So that's it for the babies, just 4. Onto the level 3s of this profile, we got, of course, the 4 Gabumon from EX4. These are really cool. Honestly, these should have gotten alt arts. I don't know why they didn't. Should have. Anyhow, this Gabumon on play reveal top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 Digimon card with Garurumon in its name and 1 Digimon card with Agumon, Greymon, or Omnimon in its name among them to your hand. Place the rest on top of your deck in any order. So that's a key there, because we're so used to putting it back to the bottom of the deck in any order. This card allows you to put it back on top of your deck, which is pretty cool, because if you needed a card that you revealed, like let's say you get 2 Greymons and you can only get 1. Now the other one's gonna go back on top, so it's pretty cool. Then inherit your turn once per turn. When one of your other Digimon Digivolves, gain 1 memory. Agumon is gonna do the same thing, except it's vice versa. So instead of getting a card with Garurumon, you're gonna get a card with Greymon, and 1 Digimon card with Gabumon, Garurumon, or Omnimon in its cards. And then again, same thing as inherit. We're not gonna spend too much time on this. Continuing on, we don't have many options to run here. We don't have any Gabumons that are black cards. We do have a lot of Agumons that are black. Downside of this Agumon here is that you're gonna have to Digivolve for 1, since it is a Sunamon and not a Koromon. So that's a downside. However, the upside of this, it does have an on-play effect where, of course, you reveal 4 cards, add a card with Greymon or Omnimon, which is good, but then it's bad because that's kind of half of your deck that you can't get as far as all the Garurumons and stuff. And then, of course, a Tamer card with Tai in its name, which we run the new Tai and Matt, which is a target for this. Then the inherit all turns. While this Digimon has Greymon or Omnimon in its name, it gets 1000 DP. Again, it's going to work for half of your deck, but of course here the main guy to have on the board, the one that you're focusing on, is Alter S, so either way you'll get that 1000 DP there. And then the other 2 rookies that I'm playing is 2 of the blocker Agumons from starter deck 5. There's a way with the Tamers, it allows you to play Agumon or Gabumon when you Digivolve from the trash and your hand. So just in case late game you need a blocker, bam, now you get a blocker Agumon. Not to mention it's going to cost free to Digivolve from the Sunamon. That's pretty much it. Now the new Garurumon from this set. When Digivolving, one of your other Digimon may Digivolve into a level 6 or lower Digimon card with Greymon in its name in your hand for its Digivolution cost. When that Digimon would Digivolve by this effect, reduce it by 2, which is nuts, because now all your ultimates are going to evolve for 1. If you're Digivolving to another champion, it's for free. If you Digivolve into a Mega, it's either going to cost 2 and or 1. Nuts. Inherit Reboot, and then the Greymon, same thing, it's just vice versa. Like I said, you could Digivolve one of your other Digimon into a card with Garurumon in its name, level 6 or lower. And of course the inherit is Reboot. The last 2 champions here, we're doing the Greymon from BT12. Same thing, I thought about playing the Security Greymon where you can play from Security, and then if I did that, I would want to split a Greymon and a Garurumon to kind of keep the ratios even, as far as, because obviously here we have more Greymon than Garurumon, so it'd be bad here. Remember there was a card, a black Garurumon, but it's actually Gururumon, so it's not a target, and I can't add that on here, and that really kind of pissed me off. So we're doing the 2 Greymons here. Reason being is, obviously besides Digivolving 2 from the Agumon, which is almost all the rookies besides Gabumon, then when Digivolving, if you don't have a Tamer in play, you can play that Tai and Matt for free, because it has Tai Kamiya in its name. The inherit, same thing as Agumon, get 1000 DP if it has Greymon or Omnimon in its name. And that's all for the champions. For the ultimate tier, the Metal Greymons, of course, 4 of blocker. When Digivolving, one of your other Digimon may Digivolve into a level 6 or lower Digimon with Garurumon in its name, and then if it does, it reduces it by 2. The inherit also gives blocker. Right? We're not going to spend too much time because they all kind of do the same thing. So the Were-Garurumon does the same thing, except when you digivolve into this one, it allows you to digivolve another Digimon into a card with Greymon in its name, level 6 or lower, and then blocker as an hand. That's it. These are the only ultimates we have now. Of course, you could probably splash in there the red and black metal Greymon from BT8. You can work around it, but really you're trying to turbo into Ultra S as quickly as possible, so we're just sticking with these 8. 4 of Cresgarurumons. Here we go. So now we're starting to get into kind of the spicy part of the deck, right? So Digivolve 3 from Were-Garurumon. So now, like I said before, if you end up digivolving and then you use one of their when digivolving effect, you digivolve on top of Were-Garurumon, reduce it by 2, it's gonna cost 1 instead of 3. Nuts, if you ask me. So when digivolving, they have the same effects besides 1, right? So for Cresgarurumon, one of them is activate one of the effects below. Choose any number of your opponent's Digimon so that the play cost total is up to 6 and return them to the bottom of the owner's deck. So that's the only effect that's different than the Blitzcrank. The other effect is one of your other Digimon digivolves into a level 6 or lower Digimon card with Greymon in its name in your hand without paying for its cost. That's absolutely stupid. Last effect is this Digimon and one of your other Digimon may DNA digivolve into a Digimon card in your hand for the cost, and that's usually what you want to go for, is that last one. And the inherit here is going to be different. So when attacking once per turn, if this Digimon has Omnimon in its name, return one of your opponent's level 5 or lower Digimon to the bottom of the owner's deck. That's just nuts, right? Talk about you swing, and now if they got a blocker even a level 5, if they're getting ready to go up to a level 6, well, you thought. Now it's going back to the bottom of your deck. So that's Cresgarurumon, and then the other 4 is the Blitz Greymon, of course. Both of these alt arts are really nice. If you guys haven't seen them, check them out. They're nice. This Blitz Greymon, now you can digivolve 3 from the Metal Greymon. When digivolving, the first one here is instead of the returning cards to the bottom of the deck, this one allows you to digivolve 3 of your opponent's Digimon. That's pretty cool, because if they have a little board going on, which is not going to come up that much, just having the effect of digivolving by 1 can be pretty good, pretty beneficial, because it's not a sort of deletion, right, or removing from play. So if you're going against a matchup, that's probably a good one to run up. You could digivolve that Omni. The other 2, of course, is when you digivolve into this one, you can choose to digivolve one of your other Digimon into a level 6 Garurumon or lower for no cost at all. And then the third one is you're able to DNA this one or another Digimon. The inherit for this one is dumb. When attacking once per turn, if this Digimon has Omnimon in its name, trash the top card of your security stack. So now you're returning a card back to the bottom of the deck, level 5 or lower, and then you're trashing a security on top of you attacking. So it's kind of like a built-in security attack +1, except you don't have to worry about what you're going to hit just besides your attack. That's it. That's it for the level 6s. You don't want to run any other ones, honestly. You could probably, I want to say maybe tech in a Black Core Greymon, one that pops Tamers if you run any decks that are heavy on Tamers or anything like that, but it really doesn't matter. There's ways to pop them, especially with the Ultra SB, which we'll get into. Going on to the level 7s, I want to run 4 of the Omnimon Ultra S, the new one. Reason is you can digivolve from level 6 obviously, and then DNA. This one, when digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 8000 DP or less, and return one of your opponent's level 6 or higher Digimon to the bottom of the owner's deck. So the reason why I play 4, if you can't DNA, that when digivolving doesn't say when DNA, right? It isn't a when DNAing effect, it's just when you digivolve. So if you just got a Blitz and you can't DNA, even though it's gonna cost 6, you could still whiteboard. You're gonna have Reboot and Blocker. So that's just dumb. So I want 4, I want to see them all the time. And then all turns, when this Digimon would leave the battle area other than by one of your effects, play 1 Blitzcrank and 1 Cresgarurumon from this Digimon's Digivolution cards without paying the cost, then place this Digimon at the bottom of your security stack face down. Do we understand how nuts that is? It's kind of like, here we go, I DNA'd, get rid of them, I'm gonna bring back Blitz and Cress, and now you spend an option card to delete Omnimon Ultra S, use Chaos Degradation, which still triggers this. Now you have 2 level 6s to deal with. Like, okay, go ahead, get rid of 1, I'm gonna come back with 2, and now I'm gonna have another one, and I'm gonna DNA again. That's exactly why I'm running 4, because when that happens, and 1 leaves, by that time I'll have another one in hand. Last but not least, my boy, Ultra B. Beautiful card. When digivolving, well, let me start with this. Digivolve 2 from a level 7 with Omnimon in its name. So you would digivolve on top of it for 2 cost. When digivolving, de-digivolve 3 one of your opponent's Digimon. It's nuts. You go from a Mega back to a Ultimate, Champion, Rookie, back to a Rookie. Then choose any number of your opponent's Digimon so that their play cost is a total up to 6 and delete them. So if you go back to a Mega, go back to a Rookie, its play cost is going to be 3. If there's another Rookie there, you can pop both of them. It's dumb. So now you got rid of a Mega and another Rookie, essentially. So now here's where he gets nasty. When attacking, by trashing up to 3 level 6 or higher cards in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, among your opponent's Digimon and Tamers, delete 1 with the lowest play cost for each card trash. If you trash 3 cards, trash the top 2 cards of your opponent's security stack. That's just insane. Essentially, when they're at 2 security, and you go up to Alter B, when you DNA, you're gonna have, find you, right? This will be your stack, essentially, especially if you DNA. There's your stack right there, right? Plus everything else. You're gonna go ahead and swing, you're gonna trash these 3. Even if you don't delete by trashing, as long as you trash 3, now you can burn 2 security, right? You could trash 2 security. And now you can go ahead and complete your swing. So now, if they're at 2, you can end up going for game for attacking. So that's the power of this Alter B. And now you're probably thinking, okay, well then why aren't you running more than 1? The whole gimmick of this deck is to have Alter S. I'm really using Alter B as a kind of a Omni for game, right? Because he doesn't have any protection. If I can't win the turn that I Digivolve and, you know, swing, he gets deleted, everything goes, right? I'm not going to be able to play no Crest, Garurumon, or no Blitz because he leaves the field. I can do it if he leaves the field. So this is why I play just 1 of, and then if you just play more, it just gets too bricky. So that's why those are my ratios. Before I continue with the rest of the deck profile, if you guys haven't subscribed, do me a favor and hit the sub button. It will mean a lot to me. Hit the like button if you guys want to see more EX4 content, because I have a lot of decks coming up, Mirage Gagomon being one. Really nasty. I'm thinking of doing eventually a membership, and with this membership, of course, you're going to get access to Discord, where, you know, if you need help learning how to play, how to build decks or anything like that, you're able to join the Discord and you can talk to me or anyone that's on there, right? There's other people that are more experienced and have more knowledge than I do. So if you can't, you know, play with me or build a deck with me, you have other people there. Biggest thing I want to do is, for example, what I'm going to do is I will do a video strictly just for combos and how to tackle other deck profiles, what's good against what. For example, what deck will beat Alter S, how should you play around it, things like that. So I want to do that. Or if you guys have any ideas, let me know down in the comments below. More info will be out as time goes. Anyway, let's get back into this. Onto the option cards, we have 2 black memory boost. Really just search for 4. The whole deck is black besides the Tamers, right? They're blue and red, so that wouldn't be a target. Then of course, just the memory. Honestly, even if you're at 2 or 1, there's so much that you can do. It's just dumb. We'll get into it in the combo section. So just 2 black memory boost. Space is very limited. Of course, the security is it plays itself, and then delay you gain 2 memory. So if you're at 1, now you'll go to 3, which at that point you can basically DNA. Then we're playing 2 of the new option cards. This is the first time I'm gonna try and say it. Adds Beast Blade and Shining Dragon Bullet. Let me know if I said that right or wrong. This card is so good. It costs 3. Main effect, activate one of the effects below. If you have a Crest Garurumon in play, one of your Agumon or Greymon may Digivolve into Blitz Greymon in your hand, ignoring its Digivolution requirements and without paying the price. And the second part is vice versa. So if you have a Blitz Greymon and there's a Gabumon or Garurumon, you can Digivolve into Crest. It's nuts. Because Tamer, when you Digivolve, we'll get into it. There's gonna be combos for sure, but this just allows you to warp your rookie to a Mega, and then when you Digivolve into that Mega, you can activate that Mega's when Digivolving DNA, and bam, there you go. Now you DNA. Security effect here, you may play 1 Gabumon or Agumon from the hand or trash without paying the cost. Then add this card to your hand. It's awesome. It's awesome. Why am I only running 2? Well, because it's red and black, and unless you have a Crest, right? Crest and a Blitz, you can't play it. And unless you don't have the blue and red tamer, which is Mad Hentai, you can't play it. It doesn't have one of those things where it says if you have, for example, if you have a tamer in play, then you can ignore its color requirements. That is why I'm running 2. There's times where like, oh my god, I could use it, and I can't because I don't have red or I don't have blue, and now I'm just like waiting. So it's a double-edged sword, but when you can pop it off, it's nuts. Last but not least, we're doing 3 of the Mad Hentais. This card is really nuts. It's kind of like a Mirei for Mastemon. So play cost of 4. Your turn. When you play Gabumon or Agumon by suspending this tamer, you gain 1 memory. Okay, cool. You're like, okay, not that bad. Your turn. Once per turn, when one of your Digimon digivolves, if you have 1 or fewer Digimon, you may play 1 Gabumon if that Digimon has Greymon in its name, or 1 Agumon if it has Garurumon in its name from your hand or trash without paying the cost. So this is really nice when you end up digivolving into a Garurumon, and now you could play a Agumon from your hand or trash, or if you digivolve into a Greymon, you can play a Gabumon from your hand or trash. So that's how this works. It's kind of, if you have one, you get to play the other. That's it. That's kind of the whole kind of gimmick of their effects, right? And then the security effect is play this card without paying the cost. Let's do a few combos. Alright guys, so let's say you're at 1, you have a Mad Hentai, you have a Gabumon, it's your turn. They memory choked you because you're like, nah homie, you ain't about to get this memory. So you move up, there we go, got it. So now we're gonna go ahead and digivolve into Garurumon for 2, right? You're gonna pass turn, you're gonna draw, but your turn's not over because now that you digivolved into a Garurumon and you have 1 Digimon, you can activate Mad Hentai's effect, playing a Agumon. In this case, it would be an Agumon from your hand or trash. And there we go, we would play, bam, an Agumon. Now here you can go ahead, trigger their on play, and now look for more missing pieces. Their other effect triggers, since you play Agumon or Gabumon, you can go ahead and suspend it, and now you're going to gain 1 memory, putting you back at 0. And now at 0 memory, you're going to go ahead and digivolve Agumon into Greymon for 2. Go to 2, you're going to draw. Sunomon, when another Digimon digivolves, you draw a card. Gabumon, when another Digimon digivolves, you gain a memory. So now you're at 1. Greymon's 1 digivolving. You may digivolve one of your other Digimon into a level 6 or lower Digimon with Garurumon in its name. So now there we go. And reduce it by 2. It's gonna cost 1. Bam. And now Agumon's inherit triggers here, gaining a memory after you draw, of course. And now his effect will trigger if you have 2. I'm sorry, if reducing it by 2, now you're gonna go into Metal Gray for 1. Bam, there you go. And now Metal Gray is gonna use his effect here, and you're gonna be able to digivolve for reduce of 2. It's gonna cost 1 into Crest Garurumon for 3, leaving your opponent at 3. And now here, if you don't have a Blitz Gray, you can finish the combo. You have 2 blockers. You have a level 6 and a level 5 off of 1 memory, leaving your opponent at 3. What else do you want me to say? Now you can use this effect and bottom deck something, and that's it. But in this case, we're going to keep going and say we do. We're going to use Crest Garurumon's effect to digivolve Metal Gray into Blitz Gray for free. Bam. And now you can either digivolve if you don't have Alter S, or you can DNA. And then of course, here comes boy putting Blitz Gray underneath and going into Alter S for free. And just like that, you have your Omnimon Alter S off of 1 memory. That's all I gotta say. Now, like I was saying, when it's your turn again, even at 1, you're just gonna go ahead and swing. You're gonna trash, you're gonna return a level 5 or lower back to the bottom of the deck, not their hand. And then you're gonna trash a card. And then when it's the end of your turn, you have Reboot and you have Blocker. This is the reason why I don't run too many Alter Bs, is because you have Reboot and Blocker. And if you have the other Agumon, he's at 16,000. Or if you have the Greymon, he'd be at 17,000, right? I'm not scared of leaving him on the board, because if he gets deleted, now you just go ahead and play Blitz and Garuru for free. This goes to the bottom of your security stack, right? And now they gotta deal with one or the other. And now let's say they do pop one. Okay, you know what? We're popping a Blitz Gray. Now they popped the Blitz Gray. And let's say at that point already, you had already built up your Agumon in the back. Now it's your turn just at 1, right? You're gonna unsuspend You're gonna go ahead and bring up Agumon. Now here's where you're able to play the option card, right? Assuming you have another Blitz in your hand. And now for 3, leaving at 2 here, you're gonna go ahead and Digivolve into Blitz for free. Because you do have a Crest Garurumon, you can warp from an Agumon. And now as when Digivolving, we just go ahead and I don't have one in my hand. But if you did, hello, we're back. I'm back and I'm better. And now if he gets removed again, boom. And you're leaving him at 2. And that right there is the power of Alter S, because then even there, you're at 2. I'm gonna go ahead and go into Alter B for 2, 0, Crash 3. This goes to Crash. And now Alter B will swing, crashing 2 from the security and potentially going for game. So that is the only reason why I only run 1, and I just use it for game, like I said. A good deck to counter this deck is all the new Galamon support with all that milling. And you already know I'm going to do a deck profile, so make sure you're sub, and I'll see you there.